Hello, and welcome back to the Taylah Louise Budgets channel. You were here with me today for a pretty big video where we are stuffing my salary paycheck for the second fortnight in July. So let's get it. Alright, Amundo, we have a big fat stack of cash today to stuff, and we're doing a range of things. We'll be doing my roundup challenge, my target bill tracker, stuffing sinking funds and weekly expenses, as well as, I guess, talking through some pay risey bits. So let's go. Before we put this money away, let's count it though. So this is just a placeholder I know I'm going to need in the video, but we should have $1,430 of my salary paycheck that we're actually stuffing in cash today, because if we add on $1,250, that's going to be going into my mortgage account, my joint bank account with my other half for housey bits, and $66 is actually going to be staying in my cushion. We are increasing the amount that stays in the cushion to $6 every fortnight. However, $60 I actually owe my cushion from overspending from last week. So I always keep myself accountable to my spending, and that money needs to go back to the bank before we can even budget it, which takes us up to my salary paycheck of $2,746. Now this has increased. Recently I had a little bit of an increase because I had to pay off my student loans for some brokerage purposes. So I obviously wasn't having HECS withheld or student loans withheld in my paycheck. So my paycheck went up, but also I've had a recent pay rise due to the EBA agreement for teachers. So I think it was like a 3% pay rise or something like that. And the tax laws also changed this financial year, which means that obviously I'm getting taxed a little bit less. So $2,746 is what I have to play with per fortnight, or every 2 weeks at the moment. So like I said, if we take off the joint account and the $66 I overspent in, we should have $1,430 here. So $250, $350, $4, $55, $56, $57, $58, $59, $50, $1,000, $20, $40, $60, $81, $20, $40, $60, $82, $20, $40, $60, $83, $50, $60, $70, $80, $90, $5, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $25, $30. So $1,430. We're gonna get this mullah situated. Let's go. Okie dokie, we're gonna start out by budgeting my salary paycheck. So like we said, it's my second paycheck for July, and we have $2,746 to play with, and $1,250 is going to stay in my joint account, and then if we go to the bottom, $66 is staying in my cushion. I should probably be counting this as I go. Whoops. So this fortnight, we're just going to put $100 into my annual expenses. I have recently paid my car rego. I did get this amount in my last paycheck, and I did get a bonus paycheck from another source, and I used that to help me pay for 6 months rego. I'm sick of everything being due in September, and this was due like end of August. So I thought if I just delayed it by 6 months, that way I can just go back to paying 12 monthly in February. Target bills is actually going to get $190 this week, and that is just because that means that we can then take a break from stuffing that for a little while. My weekly expenses are going to get pretty much the usual, so $50 for Tay, that's $25 a week, $200 for Shopee or groceries, $150 for eating out and coffee, and Zoom this week is going to get $60. So $50, $200, $150, and $60. That leaves us with $680. We want to stuff our priorities. So first of all, we're going to put $250 towards future, which is my wedding and honeymoon fund, which is happening in September. So I need the money in there. And then challenges is also going to get $250 because we love savings challenges around here. Then we just have $180 left. So what are we going to do? I actually have removed from savings challenges beauty and sport because I don't even know why they were in there to begin with, to be honest, because they really are sinking funds. But we're going to put $100 in beauty, which is kind of a wedding expense because I'm doing the things like getting my teeth whitened, need to do like all my waxing and getting lashes done and stuff again. So I'm just putting $100 in there to help out with that, because I'm going to be pretty expensive in terms of beauty just in that like month before the wedding. And then $80, I know I could take it out of the wedding honeymoon fund, but I'm trying to build this up as much as possible because I didn't know we were going to do a honeymoon until last month. So I'm very unprepared in that regard. $50 is going to go into health because I've been prioritizing that one lately. That just leaves us with $30 left, right? So let's just put 30 in gifts because it is my sister's birthday soon and birthdays creep up on me. And that leaves us with $0 to budget. So that is a zero-based budget, and that is how we're going to budget my salary today. Which means we can move on over to the roundup challenge. So this is available on my Etsy store, Taylah Louise Budgets, along with my paycheck budget template and some other bits and bobs. But this is basically any cash that I spend. Well, really I do everything on card. So every time I spend anything that's like a variable or discretionary expense, I always round it up to the nearest 5 or $10. And then that difference I save in my roundup challenge. So I track them on this calendar here, and we can see that we have already done half of the 2 weeks ago Saturday, because that was the last time I filmed. So we need to tally up all of the other spendings that I've done in the last 2 weeks. So $1.50, $1.93, $4.20, $2.62, 60 cents, $3, is that 13? Yes. 60 cents, $1.75, and $2.10. So $18.43, and I'll tick all of these off before I forget. Oops, $18.43 I think that was. Let me know if I was wrong. So if we have $18.43 to work with, we start on this one here, and we're going for the bigger numbers first. So we've got $6.10, and now we've finished another row. That is exciting. And $6, then we have $6.33 left. But if we did, let's see, if we did $5.90, then we have 43. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna do $5.90, and then I'm actually just gonna do the 45 cents, because sometimes there's certain things that I like don't track, or like when I get paid, you know, I get paid a certain number of cents and I don't calculate the cents, as I like to work with whole dollars in terms of income. So that 2 cents will be in the account, so that's all good, but we'll do the 45 cents today. Awesome, that was cool. Okay, we're just trucking along with this one, and when we finish it, we'll have an extra $1,000. So definitely well worth the patience. And that means we can actually start stuffing. So I am stuffing this before I get paid. Oh, I do this every time with my wallet. I am stuffing this before I get paid. So there is still money in my wallet. I've got, let's see, we've got $40 left in Shopee. We've got 25 left in eating out. And we've still got 50 in Zoom. It is Sunday, I get paid on Tuesday, but I do need to put fuel in, and we are going out for dinner tonight. I'm out of bread and tomatoes and things, so I'm just gonna leave this in here, and we'll just see at the end of next fortnight if we have any rollover. Usually we don't, to be honest. So we'll just wait and see, and I'll allow myself that like extra leeway there. But we're gonna get stuffing, which means we're gonna put $50 in spending, 20, 40, 50. Shopee is gonna get an additional 200. And I actually was able to cash out some, oh, do I want to? I might just go the $50 notes. I was actually able to cash out some receipt jar rewards. So I'll put my code on the screen and in the description box, but basically I just scan my receipts and then I earn points, which eventually means I can get gift cards. So I actually always just use it to get Kohl's gift cards, because that's where I do my grocery shopping. And that will like help me to stock up my pantry, fridge, freezer, that sort of thing, without having to, you know, budget extra money for groceries. So I've got a $50 gift card sitting there just from scanning receipts, which is pretty awesome. So 51, 52, I believe you get bonus points if you use my code when you sign up. And I get some points too, so it's a win-win. So there's $240 in Shopee for this fortnight. Then we're gonna go $150 in eating out, which also includes buying coffee out. So 51, 20, 40, 50. So it's 150, and then 160, 170, 175. And then Zoom's getting an extra $60, and I might actually use some 5s because I don't have many 10s there. And I don't have any 5s in my wallet, and I like to because I don't actually spend this cash, so I'm often moving money around. Like I spend this money on card and then pull it out of the envelopes and pop it back into the buffer envelope at the back once I've spent the money. So that is my wallet complete, which means we can move over to the adulting binder. And we haven't been touching or talking about the emergency fund at the moment, because we did empty her out, but we have a direct debit set up where $5 a month goes into the emergency fund, and that money is budgeted in the money that I leave in my cushion every fortnight. But because my pay has increased, and instead of $3 per fortnight, it's $6, I've actually increased this direct deposit to be $10, but we're just not gonna track it until it's worthwhile doing so. And it's definitely not at the moment because there's like $10 in that account. Annual, I didn't have to pull out of this to pay my 6 months rego, which is bloody awesome because we are looking at trying to build this back up to 3K. So today we are adding $100 to this one. And this is my paycheck for the, let's say 23rd of July. So plus 100, so 2,550 in there. And then we are representing this in placeholders at the moment just because I want to see it build back up. So 1, 2, 250, 350, 450, 550. That is Colectamundo. Okay, and sinking funds is staying as is. Actually, we're gonna be putting some placeholders in there, but we'll come back at the end to fill that out. I haven't been to recycle and save again yet, and I don't need to save up for extra debt payments because I only have my mortgage at the moment, which next month is increasing drastically because pre-approval refinancing has happened to help us prepare to settle on a block of land that we're buying. If you've been following along, you would know all about it. So yeah, our mortgage is going up kind of astronomically. We're gonna be paying, I think it's, I don't even want to say it. I think our mortgage payments next month are gonna be like $4,700. Pause for effect, because wow, yikes. It is just a short-term thing because we're trying to make a profit on a block of land. So, but you know, it is what it is, and the budget's tight because of that. So I'm just grateful that, you know, I don't have my car loan payments and stuff anymore to balance while trying to pay that kind of mortgage. And thankfully we are double income, no kids, so we can sustain that for a short period of time. Tato's not getting any extra money today, but it's got $50 in there. Taylah Louise is empty, so is Tech. Health is getting a 50. Like I said, I've been prioritizing this one. So 51, 20, 35. 135 in there. Future, so wedding and honeymoon things, oops, is getting 250 today. And so I've got the 250 to show you that we're adding in 250, which is going to be a bank transfer. But I think that means that we can do a swap out. So yeah, we've got a 500 and two 250s in there now. So we're actually going to put in another 1,000. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4,400 in there. Obviously, this is not all of our wedding and honeymoon fund. I'm only paying half of it because my other half and I do still have separate money, and will continue to have separate money even after we get married. There are certain things that we join, like, you know, we have a joint account for house expenses, and when we have kids, I'm sure we'll have another account that's a joint account for kids expenses and stuff like that. We take turns when it comes to groceries, eating out, those sorts of things. But both of us really like the financial independence of having our own money, not having to communicate every dollar that we spend. We came into this relationship in very different phases of our lives. Like, if you don't know already, there is quite an age gap. I was very much a poor uni student when we started dating, and he owned a house. So to expect that what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine is a little bit unfair. Beyond that, I have a really good job in terms of super contributions and things like that. And so, you know, the money that he made on the house that he bought before we were together, that money is kind of like a retirement fund for him, for the fact that his super fund isn't as generous or as fruitful as mine. So in terms of, you know, 30 years in the future, we'll probably be in very similar financial positions. But right now it doesn't seem fair to say, oh, well, your value is this much, so that's mine now, or 50% of that is mine. I don't think going into a relationship expecting that what someone else has is now yours is fair. And, you know, we haven't necessarily signed a prenup or anything like that, but we do have pretty solid agreements in place in terms of what happens with money. And I think that is okay. You know, like, it's whatever makes you happy. I know that Marlene from Snow Gardener 307 has separate money with her husband as well. And it's one of those things that's so frowned upon when we look at a very patriarchal world where men dominated women and made all the financial decisions. But I think as a 26-year-old woman that is a career woman, I think it's okay that I want my money to be my money, and that I don't want, you know, that shared responsibility of, I don't want to give up that independence, even though I want to share my life with someone. I don't know, just food for thought there. It's not a sign and it's not a red flag if people want to keep themselves secure. I think we live in a world where divorce is huge, and I'm not walking into a marriage expecting to get divorced. I really don't think that will happen, but you never know. And I've watched too many people in my life have to start from square one when their relationships do fall apart down the line because they sacrificed all of their control of their money. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to move on and actually do some cash stuffing here. Boo's not getting any extra today, but there is $350 in there. If you don't know already, it is his 40th this year, so I did stuff that one quite a lot. But because we're doing the honeymoon, we kind of discussed not really doing presents. Our honeymoon kind of falls on our anniversary kind of either side of both of our birthdays. So we kind of decided that the honeymoon is everything. We are spending a lot of money at the moment, trying to buy land, getting married, going on a honeymoon, like all of those things combined, like, hey, happy birthday to us. Happy anniversary to us. That's where we're putting all of our money. Bernie has 200, and if you don't know, that is my dog. So we just have a bit of a nest egg there for the next time we need to get her worming tablets, or if we need to take her to the vet or anything like that. Gifts is going to get $30 today. And maybe I'm going to do that in 2 5s as well. So 50, 70, 90, 110. And I don't want to put that in a placeholder because, like I said, it's my sister's birthday next month. So some of that money will come out then. And then Christmas and events is going to stay empty for now. I really need to start working on Christmas. But as you just heard, there's lots of other things happening in my world at the moment. Now we can move on to Target bills. So if you don't know, what I call Target bills is basically my month ahead fund. And this is looking at my subscriptions and other sorts of bills that I pay monthly and trying to get ahead of them. So the more ahead we are, the better we feel financially. And now my goal at the moment is to finish off October and then take a pause until post honeymoon. The reason I want to get October stuffed is we go on our honeymoon in September, and I am taking a leave without pay from work. So I will get less pay in September. So I want to make sure that the following month is covered. But then once we get back from honeymoon, have done all the wedding bits, then I'll be able to funnel more money into this and kind of start trying to get back ahead again. You would know if you followed me in the past that I have used this to get 3, 4, 5 months ahead. And it's just okay that different years call for different things. It was only a couple of months ago that I had to basically empty out so many of my envelopes to pay off some debt. So even though my bills aren't as ahead as they have been in previous years, financially, I'm way ahead. Even though my bank account is lower than it's been in previous years, financially, I'm way ahead because I have less liabilities. I have less debt. My net worth is sitting in a way better place. So yes, what we are doing today is October. We're not worrying about annual of 2025 just yet. But we need to put $150 into lashes and $40 into miscellaneous. So that is $190, and that is what we have budgeted. So $51, $150, and we'll find lashes. Can you see that yet? Cool. And we will be starting to use this next month. Like I said, I'm getting my lashes done for my wedding and honeymoon time, and I haven't had them done all year so far. I stopped getting them done in December when my lash lady went on maternity leave. But I will be getting a full set prior to my wedding set because my eyes were in a really reactive place with the chemical and the glue, and I don't want to risk, getting them done a week before my wedding and then having really red eyes on my wedding day. So I'm going to get a trial set beforehand so that it's just a fill and not a full set for my wedding pictures. So 152, 53, 54, 20, 40, 50. So we've got $450 in there. Tick and tick. And then miscellaneous bills. This is not for a bill that will come out. This is just for if bills pop up that I don't expect. So we're just putting $40 in there. So now we have 51, 20, 40, 50, 150 in miscellaneous bills. And now that's fully stuffed for October as well. So you probably won't see this next month or the month after that, but then we'll start working on November in October. This is another thing that is available on my Etsy store, Taylah Louise Budgets, and there's a setup sheet as well for you to work out what your bills are. There's also Budgeting Beginners mini-series on my YouTube channel, and if you want to search that and hear all the steps of how I work this out. But that is the Target bill binder. And we're going to come back to sinking funds for a moment because I did forget that I have actually pulled out some envelopes from my savings challenge binder to add back in to this one. So fitness and beauty, I was kind of doing savings challenges for these, and it was in a recent video that I found myself saying, oh, these are basically sinking funds. And so I thought to myself, like, if they're basically sinking funds, why are they not in the sinking fund envelope, and why are they savings challenges? And you would know if you do watch religiously that I spend out of these like crazy. So they need to not be a savings challenge, because my attitude with savings challenges is that the money doesn't exist until the challenge is done. So if I'm going to continue to pull from these, they need to be in the correct place, which is basically a spendings place, which is in here. So we're going to put them maybe just after Tato. Fitness is just for anything sporting related. And I have been prioritizing this year because I've been prioritizing my health and fitness this year. So I've been letting myself buy stuff for the gym. I've been letting myself buy supplements and things like that. And beauty as well, like we said, is kind of a priority moving into my wedding and wanting to look and feel my best. So we're putting $100 in there today. I would probably normally put 50 in each, but no, I've spent a lot on fitness lately, so I'm just gonna put 130 in beauty. I'm putting 100 in beauty, but now there's 130 in beauty. Okay, that makes sense. Cool, and then I think the rest is just gonna be savings challenges, which we are not stuffing in this video because I have been super chatty. So we will film a separate one, but I'm just gonna double check. I think I budgeted $250 for future today, or for savings challenges today. So 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 190, 210, 20, 30, 40, 50. Cool. So it's 250 for a savings challenge video coming to you shortly. So I'll pop that in there. I hope you did enjoy this video. This year has felt like a really crazy one for me. Like a lot has been happening and changing, and it's kind of uncomfortable for someone that likes their habits, likes consistency and likes discipline. So the fact that everything's always changing and is a little bit unsettling, but I hope it provides you some comfort too, that, you know, things do change and your goals can change and you can shift with them, and it's okay. And it's also okay to feel unsettled by it and uncomfortable with it or vulnerable because of it. Like that is also okay. You don't have to be proud of yourself every second, but we're looking long term and we can be grateful for what we have achieved and the steps that we have taken comparative to longer periods of time in the past. It's like weighing yourself every day, right? You could be doing all the right things to lose weight, but 3 days later, your scales go up a little bit. Similarly, you can be doing all the right things with your money, but your bank go down a little bit. I hope that makes sense, because it's long term that we want to be looking at. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please go down below, click like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified every single time I upload. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.